Before we get started, I want you to know this video is sponsored by VivoHome. They sent me their 7.5 quart electric stand mixer. The mixer has a 6-speed control with a pulse function for all your recipe making needs. It has a food grade stainless steel bowl that's durable and safe. The 7.5 quart capacity meets normal kitchen needs and easily makes cakes, breads, cookies, and salad dressing. It comes with 3 multi-purpose accessories: the aluminum dough hook, stainless steel wire whisk, and an aluminum mixing whisk. The tilted head design makes the bowl and accessory easy to install and remove. This is the perfect gift idea. Go check out their website. I'll leave the information below. Now let's get into the video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, All Wings Everything. And yes, you are back in my kitchen with your boy Spinelli and
Leia.
And today we got another easy and delicious recipe for you today. Man, I'm telling you, I really love this recipe here. So we're gonna show you how to make a
Kentucky butter cake.
Oh yes, we're gonna show you how to make a Kentucky butter cake. But hold up, I thought we were from Alabama.
That's just the name of the cake, Popster.
Okay, all right, so that's just the name of the cake. We from Alabama and we making a Kentucky butter cake, but guess what? We know exactly what we doing. So I hope you're in your kitchen. I'm already in mine, so let's go. All right, so here are the ingredients we're gonna use to prepare our cake. Now there is another set of ingredients for the butter sauce, but we're gonna start with the cake since this is what we need to prepare first. So let me tell you what we have. Let's do a little roll call. We have 3 cups of all-purpose white flour. I have 2 cups of sugar. I have 5 eggs, and you want them at room temperature. So before you start making or preparing your cake, you wanna make sure your eggs are at room temperature. Also here I have a cup of buttermilk, 3 sticks of unsalted butter. So make sure, guys, you use unsalted butter. Now, if you have only salted butter, you can use that. You just can't control the level of salt. That's why typically when you're baking, you always use unsalted butter. But if you got salted butter, hey, give it a try. And right here, we have a teaspoon of salt. I have a half a teaspoon of baking soda. I have a tablespoon of vanilla extract and a teaspoon of baking powder. So guys, remember, half a teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of baking powder. So these are the ingredients, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what we're gonna do right before we start preparing the cake is you wanna preheat your oven to 325 degrees and you wanna prepare your bundt pan. So we're gonna use a bundt pan for this. So I got about a tablespoon of butter. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna, grease your pan. Now, if you need more butter, then that's fine. I'm gonna start with this tablespoon. I mean, of course, you can use vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil, that's up to you, but since we're doing a Kentucky butter cake, why not grease it with some butter? Only makes sense, huh? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you get it all around here. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of flour and I'm just going to put it in here like that. And we're gonna flour this bad baby. Now you may not need all this because as you move it around and then you get it all settled in there, you end up tossing some of it. All right, so this is what it looks like. So what you wanna do is you wanna set this aside and then we're gonna start preparing our cake. All right, so what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take all our dry ingredients and add them to our flour. So remember, we got 3 cups of flour here and we're gonna take our half a teaspoon of baking soda, our teaspoon of baking powder, and our teaspoon of salt. And we're just gonna whisk this in like this. All right, and we're just gonna set this aside and we're gonna continue. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sugar and we're gonna add it to our mixing bowl here. Next, we're gonna take our 3 sticks of butter. We're gonna drop that in there just like that too. And we're gonna use our paddle attachment for our mixer. Guys, remember, this is the VivoHome Stand Mixer. Man, I like this thing already. I'm telling you, I like it already. So we're gonna drop that in here and we're gonna turn this on and we're gonna beat it for about 3 to 4 minutes on medium. Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start adding our egg. So we're gonna do 1 egg at a time, and we're gonna reduce our speed to medium. So you wanna mix this on medium until the yellow sort of disappears. And once the yellow starts to disappear, what you wanna do is you wanna add the other egg, like now. And we're gonna go in with our last egg. All right, so what you wanna do now is we're gonna reduce our speed to low, and we're gonna start adding our flour. And what you wanna make sure you do, you wanna add your flour in thirds. So I'm gonna start off with a cup of flour. And I'm gonna come right behind that with some of my buttermilk. So I'm gonna start off with, you wanna do this in thirds also. So I'm gonna start off with a third of buttermilk, and we're gonna let that mix. And guys, remember, if you have to stop it to scrape down the sides, feel free to do that also. All right, so now I'm gonna come back around with more flour, another cup of flour. Followed up with more buttermilk. All right, guys, so it looks like we are there. So what I'm gonna do, bag that up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. So what you wanna do now is you wanna give it a final mix with your hand to make sure that any flour that may be at the bottom of it, you get it blended into your mix, and also on the sides. So you're gonna kind of, whip it with your hands for about a minute. All right, guys, so this is what we have. Take a look at that. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get this mix in our pan. We already have it all greased up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this in here. All right, guys, so wanna snap that against your counter cut board. So we're gonna go ahead and get this in our oven. We're gonna let it cook for 50 to 60 minutes. Always do the toothpick test. I don't know how hot your stove is, so make sure you're always going back and checking your cake mix, especially after about 40 minutes, to kind of gauge and see where you are in times of doneness. So always use the toothpick test. So let me get this in here, and we'll be right back.
Now it's time for our butter sauce. We got 1 cup of sugar, teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 of a cup of butter, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 of a cup of water. These are the ingredients, so we're gonna prepare our sauce. So let's start off and prepare our glaze. First, you need to put a temperature. Now we're gonna put the butter. Next, we're gonna put our water. Next, we're gonna put our cinnamon. Next, we're gonna put our salt, vanilla extract, then sugar. Heat on low and stir it. And don't let it come to boil. You wanna make sure that everything is melted and dissolved. Now it's mixed well. Now we're gonna turn off our heat. Now we're gonna reserve 1/4 of a cup and set it aside.
All right, so now we're 50 minutes in. I've removed our cake from the oven. Guys, take a look at this beauty. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to take a skewer and we're gonna start poking holes in the top. Now, as you can see in this shot right here, I've already poked holes in mine, and this to allow that glaze to seep into the cake. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our glaze and we're gonna start pouring it over the top of the cake like this. Man, this is beautiful. And make sure that you allow it to seep into the cake before you pour all of it. You don't want it really running down the sides of the cake. You want it to go into the holes. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the remaining of our butter sauce, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lightly brush it over our cake like that. And this is what really makes it taste so good when you put it on the outside like that and then was already on the inside. Oh man. Next to that rum cake, this is one of my favorite cakes. Well, I gotta be honest, man. I got a lot of favorite cakes. You know, I love that Devil's Food, Red Velvet. But when it comes to like pound cakes, these are one of my favorites right here. Guys, take a look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And there you have it, guys. Kentucky butter cake. Man, take a look at this right here, man. Oh man, this looks so delicious. Guys, you focus on that, you see all that sauce, that butter sauce right there and that piece there. Guys, this is a delicious recipe. Make sure you check the video description for all the ingredients. Also, guys, thank you for supporting the channel, getting that merch, buying the ebook. Until then, guys, let's go ahead and get into quality control because me and Leah are ready to take a bite out of this. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we are here for quality control. You already know, got Leah with me. I need her here to help me taste this Kentucky butter cake. So without further ado, so you ready, Leah? Mm-hmm. All right. What do you think? What you think first? You think it's gonna taste pretty good?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's see what this thing about. Mm-hmm. God, it's moist on the inside. Oh my goodness. All I need now is some warm ice cream. What you think?
It's good.
Man, this is delicious. This is a recipe that I know you guys are gonna love. And this one here, we're making strictly from scratch. No cake mix, straight flour, butter, and eggs. So guys, before we get out of here, pick up that ebook, check out the merch, hit that thanks button, and show Leah a little love, you know what I'm saying? Get that ebook, and until then, I'm your cook, and this is
Leia.
And this is All Wings Everything. And we are out. Peace.